A flock of seagulls flew overhead, their cries blending with the sound of waves.
Dr. Axell and Miss White continued walking, the golden sunset casting long, wavering reflections on the water.
Miss White picked up a seashell and examined its spiral structure.
Dr. Axell, if the mind is conditioned to see only what it wants, isn't it difficult for people to even realize they are trapped? Wouldn't they assume their perspective is the only truth?
Dr. Axell nodded, bending down to draw a cube in the wet sand.
That's the challenge. Imagine this cube represents reality. Each corner represents a different perspective. A person standing on one corner sees only one view of the structure. Let's say they see two adjacent faces. They assume that's all there is. Another person standing on a different corner sees two different faces and insists that's the real truth.
Miss White crouched beside him, tracing the edges with her fingers.
And so they argue endlessly, each convinced they see the full reality.
Exactly, but here's the key. If they become aware of the cube's existence as a whole, they would realize that their perspective is just one of many. The problem is, the mind resists this awareness. It becomes absorbed in its own beliefs and stops questioning.
Miss White thought for a moment.
It's like a child raised in a house with red walls. If they never leave, they might believe the entire world is red. But if they step outside, they see the blue sky, the green trees. Suddenly their reality expands.
Precisely. That's the movement of awareness. It's the act of stepping outside one's limited viewpoint and seeing the broader reality. But most people fear this step because it threatens their sense of certainty.
Then how do we encourage this movement?
By creating contrast. Awareness is sparked when two conflicting realities are encountered. Take the cube again. If someone is made to walk around it, experiencing different corners, they will start questioning their initial assumption. It is contrast that pushes the mind to expand.
Contrast, like the way light and shadow define everything we see? But the moment a small crack lets in a ray of light, everything changes. It now knows there is something beyond its darkness.
Yes, imagine a fish born in a deep, dark cave. It has never seen light. For it, darkness is not an absence of something, it is the only reality.
And that light is awareness.
Awareness doesn't force change, it merely introduces contrast. Once contrast is felt, the mind begins to move naturally, breaking free from its self-imposed captivity.
So you're saying life is like a dance between light and shadow, between certainty and doubt?
Exactly. And those who learn to move between them are the ones who truly see.
The waves lapped at the shore as the last light of the sun dipped below the horizon. Their conversation continued, carried by the rhythm of the sea, weaving through the mystery of human perception and the art of seeing beyond the mind's wall.